If you guys want $4 qualified leads in today's economy, you're gonna have to go ahead and buy my course. I take Bitcoin wires only. Just kidding. I own a real service-based business, which I do successfully run meta ads for. And here are 3 tips that I have personally used that have helped me get good results. If you're new, you got to start by finding an angle that works. The best way to do this is by testing hooks. You're going to create one set of body copy and you're going to change that first line. You're going to do 4 or 5 different variations of that first line, different angles, different wording, etc., whatever you want to do, but you're going to keep the rest the exact same. You used to have to make completely different ads if you wanted to change one line, but now with Dynamic Creative, Meta will essentially use all 4 variations and it'll pick out which one is the best performing, so that way you figure out, okay, this hook is the best. So that's point number 1. Only test the hook, isolate the rest of the variables. A second piece of advice would be advertising is for eyeballs and sales is for education. You do not want to be educating the prospect on your product. It shouldn't be bullet points of, oh, we do this, we do this, we do this. No, you should be telling a story, piquing interest, and then in your follow-up, in your sales call, that's when you tell them, like, okay, this is what it is that you signed up for, essentially. Sure, this is going to create, like, slightly less qualified leads, but if you have a solid back end where there's friction in the form that self-selects for if the person's a good fit or not, you have an email nurture sequence, which I just started doing, holy crap, game changer. Then you really just want to get eyeballs. Okay, that's the goal. It's cold traffic, it's front-end traffic. It's going to be a bit of a longer sales cycle anyway. You might as well get as many people through the door as possible and then self-select in the follow-up process, especially if you're a small business where you do have the resources to do this. Should add a caveat that you don't want to be like vague. When I say you don't want to list exactly what your product and service does, you want to list benefits and problems that it solves. You don't want to be like, oh, we're the #1 HVAC company in blah, blah, blah. We come out, we provide a free estimate, we do this and that. You'd be like, are you sick of your hot house? Are you sweating? Is there, like, whatever? You want to hook with a problem, and then you want to go like, okay, we'll be fast, we'll be whatever. Benefits, problems. That's it. You don't want to be talking about, we're blah, blah, blah certified. Nope, nobody cares. Peak interest, don't educate. Third piece of advice is just keep advertising until you find a winner. I probably lost $3,000 before I found a profitable meta ad, but once I did, I learned that skill for the rest of my life, and now I can essentially print money on demand. First ad is not going to work. Your second ad's probably not going to work. Your third ad's probably not going to work. It took, like, I'm telling you, it took me until the point where I was like, I do not have enough demand for my business. I'm going to keep running these ads until I figure it out. Like, that was the commitment I made to myself. That's when it finally worked. So, yeah, hopefully this was helpful in some way. Like I said, this is simply just, like, what has been beneficial for my business. You could be in a completely different industry, and it might not make sense at all. I would argue that the principles that I outlined are definitely still applicable, but I digress. So, hope you enjoy this. Thanks for watching. 3 minutes long, and run some ads. Take some action, and do it until you find something that works.